Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I'm talking to you about three things you probably really don't want to hear about. Number one, we are going to talk about the epiphany that I had when it comes to dead peasants insurance, and that is when a corporation insures its employee in case they die. And the example we have here is, I think in 2014, back when we had Tower Records had employed a janitor, I think, an employee that made about $20,000 a month, and that he quit working for the corporation for about 4 or 5 years, and then he died, and then Tower Records collected $336,000 off his death, even though he made about $20,000 a year, and didn't give a single penny to his family. Yes, dead peasant insurance is real. It is another financial instrument that works against humanity. We're going to begin to talk about this horrific subject now. And then the next point will be, the entire time I've been at THORnews, I've told you that I do not believe in politicians, that I believe the military and oil industrial complex has been in full control since JFK had his brains splattered all across his wife's body. And that military industrial complex has pretty much been in control since then. Since this video is not going to be that hilarious, I will have hilarious hair. Although you need to be more hilarious hair. What are you doing? Alright. I forget. It's reverse on camera. Alright, so we're going from that. Sweet. So now we attacked Syria 2 weeks ago, was it? And oil is, of course, at its, 4-year high or maybe 3-year high. And remember, this is off a glut of oil. They began fracking with, how do I put this, nukes a while back, and man, they opened it up and they got more oil than they know what to do with. So anytime we see oil skyrocketing, it has to be from manipulated factors. Usually it's keeping the limited amount of refineries, have those refineries have trouble. The hurricane that hit Texas helped oil prices. And then, of course, bombing Syria and any Middle East instability is fantastic for oil. So, I mean, I'm sorry if you haven't crossed over that painful threshold that we're in full control, or the military and oil industrial complex is in full control, and they intend to keep us on a divide and conquer, perpetual war, $70 to $100 barrel of oil system absolutely as long as they can, and they will probably risk all life on Earth doing it. And then, fun subject number 3, try your least favorite. It's that THORnews is a publicly funded channel. Meaning, like, I just got my YouTube payment today. It was 240 views. So that turns out to be about, I don't know, $1, $2 an hour. So for me to continue to do THORnews, I rely on contributions and donations from y'all. And I got down to $1.23. I made a deal with you guys. I said I will do this full time as long as you guys continue to pay my bills, and I can do this. And I love making videos. It should show in my videos that I love it. And most of the time I make great videos and make great points. So, with us 1 month away from hurricane season, and knowing that I usually work 12 to 15 hours a day during hurricane season, I got down to $1 in my bank account before the YouTube payment went in this morning. It's like $204. And so if we are going to continue to do this, and for me to even have a vision of doing this through the summer and hurricane season, I'm going to need more help from y'all. Which brings me to, I'll get back to the other stuff real quick, but I want to mention quickly that I don't know if you guys heard, a DJ named M.O.I.C died, and at the time he was making a video on child and sex trafficking. And I don't talk about this a lot, but basically anyone you know that is at the top of the truth game, that makes real points, it doesn't cow to the left or the right, false dichotomy, we're all in danger. We're always in danger. We put our lives on the line every single day to bring you the truth. And I'm not knocking anybody, but I'm saying when you see guys like Mark Dice or Alex Jones switch from blaming everything on the Illuminati or the elites to like, hey, it's all the Democrats, it's all the liberals' fault. Alex bragged on 2020 about making $54 million a year. Mark Dice is doing better than ever. That the only way to be successful right now is to either blame everything on Democrats, or blame everything on Republicans, or blame everything on white people, or blame everything on black people, or blame everything on men, or, you know, it's insane. And another thing is that it's a really shitty time to be talking to the public, because there is so much anger and confusion amongst all the people. Because on the TV, on the internet, on the newspapers, it's all divide and conquer. Here's who to hate. Here's who to blame. I mean, literally as a white man who has done spectacular things in the last 5 years at THORnews. Honestly, the only way to get any attention or credit or to get people talking about you in the public is to either shoot and kill a bunch of people or rape a bunch of people. Other than that, man, you're not going to make it on the radar. And so you have all this anger being geared up, and America's literally being ripped to shreds. And it's like when I say, nobody likes it, but I don't blame George Bush II. I don't blame Barack Obama. I don't even blame Trump, man. Like, these are all guys who got too far and then ended up having to be a mouthpiece or a mascot for the military and oil industrial complex. And I've mentioned it once or twice, but when I go out, rarely, I don't go out much anymore. When I do, people find me and they talk to me. So I get a lot of good information. Most of the time I don't even want it. And I talked to an oil guy, and an oil guy said, hey, yeah, we're totally okay with 150 million people dying to get to where we want to be. And I'm like, well, I'm not okay with that. And that if that happens, you guys will go soon after. That we either have to unite or everybody loses. It's either everybody wins or everybody loses. We all hold hands and take one step forward into the future and release all the technologies. I mean, if all the teams came together, whatever problems we have, we could solve. Absolutely. And that by making the world a better place and raising everyone's level of happiness and joy, everybody wins. Rock and roll would return. Great movies would return. Great art. Like, I don't know. I was looking at it, and they did the song "We Are the World" in '85, and that so there was a period till about Kurt Cobain got killed, where people believed in world peace. We all kind of felt it was the next step in the evolution of mankind. And then Kurt Cobain died, Lane Staley died, Shannon Hoon died, like the whole, once again, the music mafia stepped in and wiped out the people like they did with Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, and Janis Joplin, because music and rock and roll have the power to heal, to inspire, to make you dream, to make you feel good if you're sad. You know, you go through a horrible breakup. Music is one of the best things that helps. And so that is one of the reasons. Like if they're going to control everything from the lockdown, they have to control it. And that is one of the first things they went after. And if you'll notice, it's been in all Disney, all pretty much controlled pop ever since. I mean, I think the last good rock and roll band I can even think of was like the Strokes, Kings of Leon, who am I missing? Oh, Black Keys. And those are all like 2001. So what, 17 years later, nobody knows how to do rock and roll anymore, man? You know? So the whole point is, man, I guess I should just, I'm going to make another better video on this single subject, but, so Dutch Sense happened to mention that, man, I hate being the first person to find this. Can't anybody else find this shit? Because it's not always best to be the first one to find it. But life has gotten so shitty that, it doesn't mean as much to me to lose my life helping out or trying to help the world. Because it's like, shit, dude, I wake up every day and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with people? You know? Why is everything going so bad all the time? And it's very frustrating. And I feel collective energy, so it's very hard for me at times. But someone mentioned something to me, and then I put it all together. And so I've been very frustrated. As you know, I've been telling you guys that the sun is acting weird, and the weather is going to continue to increase in its severity and weirdness. And so for, 5.5 years, I've looked like a bit of a genius. Though I'm still having trouble figuring out how to go live, so I can't be that big of a genius. Anyway. And so when I figured this out, it kind of clicked for me. Like, one of the main reasons that the media was super corporate owned, I would guess it's like maybe 3-4 companies own it all. It's all shell companies, man. And so why have they been literally stopping every message to the people? And I think I came up with it. And it's all ties back to dead peasant insurance. That, like I said, that you can insure a $20,000 a year employee, and if he dies, you get $400,000. So, you look at all the company, and this is from 2014, right? It's called coli. Add an E and it's E. coli. It's called, corporate-owned insurance. That's the official term. Corporate-owned life insurance. Corporate-owned life insurance, COLI, is a life insurance on employees' lives that is owned by the employer, with benefits payable either to the employer, or directly to the employee's family. Let me ask you, which option do you think the corporations are going to choose? And the nicknames for it are Janitor's Insurance or Dead Peasant's Insurance. And these days, if you ain't got over 10 billion, they consider you a peasant. And so, if you look to, here, the majority of this it's banks, or it's power and oil companies, power. So it's not like they're putting a contract on Prince. An insurance policy like Prince dies. They're doing it to people who make $20,000 a year. And they get paid $400,000 if they die. That is a horrible, horrible deal, man. And so, look at all the people who invest heavily in dead peasants insurance. So what I'm getting at, and of course when I feel better, I will try to make another video, but if something happens to me, or I don't mind if anyone continues to go with this story, because I think it's important. So in 2008, the value was almost doubled. It went from spending $65 billion in 2004 to, in 2008 it doubled to $122 billion. And the top employers engaged in this practice: Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Walt Disney, Walmart, Dow Chemical, and many others. And so, as you guys who have been with me since last hurricane season, I took Puerto Rico personally. And with all we know that sex trafficking and horrible shit like that is real. And so I have visions sometimes, and I had this vision of when the entire island was out of power. Some ships, I'm guessing it's from the Middle East, who knows, showed up on the west side of the island within like a week. And I don't know if you've seen Puerto Rican women, they're gorgeous. And I had this vision of like anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 people being kidnapped and whisked away. They didn't get power on the island, and only sparsely, until a month later. And so that's why I was saying that, like, Puerto Rico is kind of a canary in the coal mine. Even though Puerto Rico is not a state, it's still part of America, and that it is the canary in the coal mine. What we are going to allow to happen to Puerto Rico is going to happen to us. And Hawaii's had bad flooding. And so it's like, we have major problems in Puerto Rico. We have major problems in Hawaii. And it's like, nobody will really care or wake up until it's too late. And it starts happening on the mainland, which it has, just slowly. And so here's the situation. I have this real feeling and fear that Texas is going to get hit. Like literally, I can feel the oil people, and they are like, "Oh my God, we got to get to $100 a barrel," right? And so, where is it? Like $100 oil is back on the table, bro. And so now we're at like 72, 74. And so to get to $100 barrels, we're going to have to attack Iran. So we're going to have to cause more instability in the Middle East. And it's my understanding that America has pretty much always been owned and created from very rich interests from Europe, the UK, the Middle East. Like, although we're sold some story in history class about, pilgrims and we did it all on our own. It's a total lie, man. We've always, we were set up to be almost the good guy, bad guy, the military arm. So we would be the world police for the oil industry so everyone would blame us for all the problems when we are being puppet controlled from the outside. I don't know. You don't have to believe me or agree with it, but it's pretty much the deal. That's why when everybody's like, we hate America, it's like, yo, bro, most of us are good people, want to take care of our friends, our family. We work way too hard. We're underpaid. We're almost, overworked people in the world. And that we get all the blame. And so, with oil back on the table, with them literally doing what they can to get it back to the 100 and over, I imagine we're going to see another hurricane or two hit Texas and the entire coast this year. which will knock out a lot of the refineries. They only have like 20, 30 refineries in the world, and they're all in like third world countries. And that's another way they bottleneck the oil prices. And I would guess technically oil should be at $10, $20 a barrel. Although everybody always tells me, oh, it takes $30 to get it out of the ground. And I think technically they have to remove it because the core keeps producing it. So it's going to cause earthquakes and terraforming, and so they have to terraform it one way or the other. And so yeah, they just want to be fully rich and in control. But that's a whole other subject. We're talking about the dead peasants insurance. Yeah, sorry. Ugh. And so what I'm saying is, we're a month away, and I think there's a good chance we're going to see a hurricane before hurricane season even starts. I'm not saying that won't hit land, but I'm saying I think it's off the chain, off the chart this year. And yeah, even though the hurricane experts have been saying it's going to be an average year, meaning like, what is it, 3 hurricanes over a 5 or over a 3, I don't know. They're just saying it's going to be a normal hurricane year. I totally disagree with that. I've seen all the signs that I saw last year when I made my call ahead of hurricane season saying, hey y'all, we're going to get hit by multiple hurricanes, 2+ in the United States this year. We got hit by 4. So I see no reason to not plan for a hurricane season that is just as bad, if not worse, than last year. And it's like I've been saying, you got to pretend like your government's not there, or if it is, it's literally working against you. So that's the deal. And so I am very frustrated because since Hurricane Matthew, I've chained together an amazing body of work. I've made some amazing predictions, and it's not that I'm looking for credit or that, like, ooh, I wish I was rich. I mean, I wish I could pay my bills and not have to have a nervous breakdown at the end of every month after working so hard. That would be great. It's that I feel like I'm pouring all of my energy into this, to getting to people to unite and to adapt to the changes. And I'm not seeing anything, like, that's why I haven't been making many videos lately. It's like, what's the point? It's like I'm beating my face against the wall. Like, why am I doing this? Like, when I spend 14 hours cutting together 4 hours of video footage down into a tight package that is sugar in the spoon and is comical, even though the information is horrible, I do it because it feels like I'm making a difference. I'm saving lives. I'm getting us to where we need to be. And just lately, I'm kind of burned out, and I've been giving it all on, dude, I got nothing but problems. And, the last few days, I had major tooth pain, far right. Like, I don't know, same thing with I can never afford dental work, so I just deal with the pain. So that there ain't a lot of rewards in doing this. And so I don't know why I keep doing it. And so I guess to sum it up, man, that's the fucking reason that none of these messages are sticking. If a Cat 5 surprise 24-hour hurricane were to hit a major city and kill tens of thousands of people, your non-American fucking corporations would get a fucking windfall check for every dead body. Do you hear me? So I don't know what to do. Power went out in Puerto Rico, the whole island, last week. So I'm just... I just don't know what to do. I don't know what I can do. I want to stay away from politics, but I gotta say, seriously, Republicans, conservatives, shut the fuck up about Hillary and Obama. They are non-issues. If you think that Hillary has committed a bunch of crimes, let the justice system handle it. Your memes are not going to be used in court. That we have serious issues that we must attend to. And that at that point, the hatred for Obama and Hillary must be transferred into saving our country. It must be transferred into building new infrastructure that's prepared to last for 100 years. Same thing with Democrats. All your fucking hatred of Donald Trump isn't helping anybody. It's not going to get him impeached. That when a president does something you don't like, that doesn't make him fucking Satan. And that doesn't make him evil or a criminal. And just because you saw a QAnon post about something does not mean it's evidence you could introduce in a court of law. And so everybody's so focused on the past. And I see now in the future. And we are way behind. So, I don't know. It's already 26 minutes. I guess I'll wrap this one up, but I don't know what to do. And technically, I need, after that hurricane season, I need a hardcore vacation, man. I worked from Harvey to the end of it. I worked as hard as anyone on the planet. And I remember when I evacuated to DFW, my best friend's mom, she's 72. And I heard about the flooding and that people were getting trapped in their attics. And then there were also tornadoes. I literally, you can ask my friends, my family, guys I knew, I said, if I need to have you take a day off work and go with me down to Houston to pluck that 70-year-old woman that I love off her roof, I need you to do it. Some of the greatest people I met were like, sorry, can't, bro. I gotta work. And I was like, look, your major corporation will not tell you that you are fired or in trouble if you call them and say, hey, I need a day or two off to go save a 72-year-old lady. And it was then I learned how fucking cowardly the American men are. They talk a fucking great game, man. They talk about Jesus and country and family. When the test was there, and I said, I would do it for you. If it was you and your mom on the roof, I would do it for you. Didn't move anybody. You gotta thank Petra. Petra found me a boat. Anyway, Mama 2 passed away in November. And so I'm just, I don't know, man. A month away to fucking hurricane season. I ain't seen a lot of hope from people. I ain't seen a lot of change. You know? And this is how serious I am about it. Like, I know I was going to move to Colorado in a week. A friend of mine sent me things saying, hey, we'll make 10 songs in 20 days in May if you stay. So, I'll probably stay. And then go to Colorado, but I think this is going to be a nasty hurricane season, man. I hope I'm wrong. Can't wait to be wrong again. Maybe then I can date women. You know, not a single woman on the planet is like, yeah, I want to date a YouTuber. Especially one that has 40,000 subscribers and makes $240 a month and has to beg people for money. I don't know. So yeah, Dead Peasants Insurance, I'm fucking broke, and hurricane season's right around the corner. Plus, the military and oil industrial complex is still in full fucking control. Still have faith in God's plan. Jesus Christ is still my King, Lord of Lords. I still love you guys, and I appreciate all the help, support you've ever given me. I don't know what to do. And that's why, even the whole truth community, man, like, if you aren't trying to get people to unite, what is your fucking point? Like when you say flat earth or chemtrails, or whatever the fuck it is, like, what is your point? Like, okay, chemtrails. What are you going to do to stop the guys who have the power to literally spray this guy every day? How are you going to change their habits? World's flat. Okay. What are you going to do, man? Like, the only thing is unite as a people. And that even includes the chemtrailers and the bankers and the oil people. Because as I've seen it, it's the reason I've been doing this for 5 years. That if we don't unite, we shall crumble to dust, all of us. Like Mars did, or Atlantis, or the 5 or 6 civilizations that were on Earth before us. It'll be Ragnarok. And when they say the meek shall inherit the earth, they're probably talking about amoebas and little fishes. And we've seen so many animal die-offs. The ocean's filling with plastic. And I think there's a sect of the super rich who either has, and that sounds crazy, like little bases in space, probably on the moon, possibly even Mars already. And so that's where your $20 trillion debt has gone, to building a safe place off this world or underground. And I don't think that's true. Like, you can't just run from universal justice. That if you are to throw 150 million people into the ocean to sacrifice them for your rich people utopia, your entire plan will fall apart at some point. And the only workable solution is for us to unite as one Earth family. We all have a second chance. You know? Anyway, the good sign was that North Korea and South Korea decided to unify after 80 years. So there is still hope out there. And that I'm just trying to work all this out of my system so I can get geared up, my heart hardened enough to handle this hurricane season. So that, I mean, I don't know. That's a funny thing. If you look at my 40,000 subscribers, or I don't know, Dutch and SO have like 200, 300,000, or even BP before he went full hardcore right. You know? Well, that would be easy. Because that way, instead of going full hardcore right, I don't have to make videos. I can just put a 2-minute Fox News clip on my channel. And it counts. Sorry, that was uncalled for. Anyway. So yeah, dude, everybody's listening. And if they let Dutch and I and SO and even Dabu and Mr. BB, if they let our real numbers out there, I'm pretty sure most of us would be in the millions of subscribers. And this isn't about, oh my god, it's numbers and shit or views. This is about the fact that people are listening to us. Whether the richest families, the oil guys, the NASA guy, like, they watch us. We're super high on that radar. And so everybody's listening. And it's just a weird fucking time to be talking to everybody. Especially the richest people on the planet. You know? I mean, hell, they've had, well, like 100 victories in a row without a single loss. So why wouldn't they be cocky? Anywho, love you guys. Talk way too long. Like I said, in this situation, you guys become like my only friend. Nobody else wants to talk to me in real life. You know? Shit, most people start crying in 2 minutes when I stop. Talk. I can't blame them. Anyway, love you guys. And like I said, if you think I'm going crazy or you don't agree or you don't like me, I'm more than happy for you to leave THORnews. I've given my all. I know I'm not perfect, and at times I can be an asshole for sure. But I love people, love animals, love this planet. And what's happening seems like a fucking crime. And that whereas most truth people are like, hey, we're going to hang the bankers. No, dude. No, you're not. They've spent like $20 trillion. Because you can leverage the money out like 36 times. There's a lot of money. Like, there's $1 quadrillion almost in circulation. On drones. And they got drones this big that could kill you. They got micro drones that can come to get like nano dust. Sonics, like, you can't beat them. You're not going to punish them. And so that's why we all have to figure out how to work together. And how this stage even got set is you had your like 13-ish old money families that have been in control for 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years. And that the Tech 6 really disrupted it. And so now you have a bunch of people who have weapons of mass destruction. And so that's what the transition is literally, I have been trying to figure out how to get everybody to work it out so we can all get to a better place and everybody wins. And so I've talked to a lot of people in all the sectors. Some super high up, some not. I gotta say, that's what, like, man, some people get so jazzed up on their own bullshit, they'll just sell people anything. Like, this idea that the super elites are totally unified is bullshit. I mean, for like single projects or certain things, sure, I guess. But like, if you don't see this power vacuum, and even if they killed 6 billion people, then it becomes a new power vacuum of them fighting for control. And one thing that people don't hear about is that the one thing that could really disrupt the apple cart, and always does, is women. That these same type of people who look at women like commodities, like, I could see the main war that wipes out the rich of the rich be starting over women, you know, like the face that launched 1,000 ships. Meaning just that, like, that they're like, this one is mine, no, she's mine, like commodities. And so I'm saying that even if they take out the poor public, you know, that they just end up with a war amongst themselves. And that it was like, it was funny on a different level. When I went to NASA, when I got invited, I asked a guy from Raytheon who would win in a war between Raytheon, Boeing, and Lockheed Martin. And the Raytheon guy was like, Raytheon. So, okay, who would win in a war? You know, I asked the Lockheed Martin guy, you know, separately, who would win in a war between Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and Raytheon? It's like Lockheed Martin. The Boeing guy? Who would win Boeing? Like, Boston Dynamics, like, they all have the power to destroy each other, destroy everyone. And so that's why it's like, we got to come together. They're not unified. You know, like, if you think that that the very top people who are all surrounded by their own little inner yes man somehow get together around a table of 12 and are like super bros, but they're like super psychotic, satanic, baby drinking, like, it doesn't make any sense. And so, just from the signs that I've seen, that seems to be like a level of worry across all sectors. Like, what are we doing? And the thing is, if it's Occam's razor, which means that, like, the simplest answer is correct. So if this just is like a hydra of greed and arrogance, it's kind of scary. And it's not as scary as, like, the devil controlling everyone and we have no free will. And it could be easily solved. Like I said, someone said to me the other day that I fucked up because I didn't explain it to them properly, and that was my job. And I'm like, well, we're still here and I still got time. And I don't know, getting kicked in the balls every day doesn't necessarily help my communication skills. But I don't know. I guess I am. I'm crazy. I'm good crazy though. And so I'm just saying, yeah, I'm a bit burned out. Here's what I'm not burned out, like, because I love making videos. It's burned out on, like, it doesn't feel like I'm making a lot of difference. And I know I've affected people's lives that have watched THORnews, and you guys are fantastic. And, like, the ultimate tribal clan. And I super appreciate you. I just mean on a bigger level. You know, they say that over 1,000 people died in Puerto Rico from Hurricane Maria, and I believe it. Definitely. And so, and with hurricane season coming up, and last hurricane season was just a bunch of me getting emotionally stabbed over and over, and then ending it all up totally broke. I don't know. I'm like, I got this like fear of this hurricane season. I guess I'm working through now. But at 40 minutes, I probably should wrap it up. And I appreciate you for listening. I don't know. If I was too crazy in this, I might delete this, so we'll leave it out for as long as it is. But, you know, I love you guys, and I guess the last point is, I'm a Christian. Although I've done research on the Nicene Council and the Catholic Church pre-printing press, so that I have simplified my Christianity to be the 2 laws or rules that Jesus gave us. 1, love God above all else. 2, love your neighbor as your family. And so that for me is Christianity simplified. And so all the people who get into the biblical prophecy, like, even though I studied Revelation and wrote a bunch of screenplays about it, I see now how it is probably being used against us. Like, everybody's just waiting for Jesus to return. And so they're not doing anything to prepare for the future. Because every single generation thought the rapture, the end times, the return of Christ was coming during their lifetime. It's true. It's true, man. And so for everybody to be like, oh, gee, I know Jesus is coming now. I don't know. Back in 2004, I said, oh, the stock markets are probably the beast spoken of in the Bible. That biblical translation of prophecy seems pretty accurate and legit for me. And so to have people who literally have no decent prophecy ahead of time thinking they got the Bible all figured out now, you don't. Okay? Sorry, I just mean the prophecy stuff. So, you know, it's the people who are obsessed with the Antichrist or obsessed with the end times. That's the opposite of me. I've always focused on the second coming of Christ, faithful and true, the King of Kings, who will bring 1,000 years of peace. That's why I think it's ridiculous when people are like, no, the world's going to end. No, we're going to get 1,000 years of peace. He's going to toss the beast into the bottomless pit, and that we get to enjoy the future. So I've always looked at it as preparing for 1,000 years of peace. So that's why I'm just saying, I would talk about my Christianity a lot more. It's just, that seems to be the number one subject where people get in my face and tell me, this is exactly how it is. And I was raised Lutheran, so we were taught that you show your faith through your works. It's works and grace. Grace without works is dead. And so all these people who tell me I don't have my own Christianity right, even though I'm a Norse Jedi Christian, I say, well, let's see, I wrote 13 screenplays. Half of them are based on the second coming. I've written 1,000 poems. I've drawn or painted 100 paintings. I've made 1,700 videos. I've written 40 or 50 songs. And I've tried to be an example of someone who's kind, cool, forgiving, nice, funny, inspiring. And so, if someone is going to say, hey, I know Christianity way better than you, I know the Bible way better than you, I know God way better than you, my answer these days is show me your works. You know? That I would like to talk more about faith. And I studied Isaac Newton, and he opened up my faith when he talked about the weight of the Holy Trinity. And the basic conclusion is that only God can judge, and that it's best to get everybody to come to the table, and that treat everyone like family. And that so it's okay for people to believe what they want to believe in their own personal life, and that to kick people in the balls, whether or not they believe in the rapture or not, or they eat shellfish, like, it's all wrong. It's kind of like the Holy Bible. People are like, the Holy Bible says that people shouldn't unite. that nations shouldn't unite and work as one. The Quran says that people shouldn't unite. People shouldn't work together as one family. The Torah says that people shouldn't unite. That people shouldn't work together as one family. See how that works? So if you don't think the elites or the people who have been in control of the military and oil industry complex are using God, something that you can't write one book that tells you how to play guitar, like everything you need to know. It's the same thing that, like, God is so giant and big and amazing, created the universe and everything we know. Like, all that understanding won't fit in a book. And so that's why it's always simpler for me to go to the two laws, man. Love God above all else, and guys and puppies, and my mama, and my family, and my friends, and trees, and beautiful sunsets. So that's easy. And then loving everyone as your family, that's the hard part, because sometimes people can be shitty and unlikable, including me. Look at these giant, like, nature's going to pick these things up and wad them at us, throw them at us. Like fastballs. Soon. And so I got kind of excited when I got down to $1. I was like, yay, I'm fired as the planetary defense commander. Now I can get a real job and get a girlfriend and live a normal life. But at least the YouTube check bought me, I went 4 days. I got 2 bills coming up. Yeah, so one of the top hurricane and weather guys on the planet. If you guys want to contribute and help me keep it up and running, that would be fantastic. And especially knowing the timeline, it's like someone said something about, people in their 20s shouldn't make any major decisions until their 30s. I was like, wait a second. Look at this timeline. Look at society. Look at everything. How many years do you see us having in civilization standing at this rate? Without major changes or us uniting or fixing things. Literally, how many years do you think civilization has? Right now, we're pegging at 2020. And that if we don't make major changes, that's even questionable. And so, if you are a THORnews supporter who's been watching me for a couple years, or even just a year, a little short amount of time, and you've done well in life, I'm asking, like, I don't know, dude, open that checkbook up. I would love a great donation. Allows me to not have to worry about it for a month or 2 or 3 or 4. And I will just work and be happy and not worry about my bills. Because I don't know if you know this. There are several famous people who watch THORnews on a very regular basis. As far as I know, I have never received a contribution from any of them. And so in this time where most people in the truth community don't make a lot of money. So if you are one of the people who has done well, I need your help. And so that'd be great. Like I said, anybody, if you're like me and paycheck to paycheck and bill to bill and half your worries is about am I going to be homeless next month, yeah, don't worry about it. You can send contributions and donations. Not a contribution day. You can send me a letter, a thank you letter, at THORnews P.O. Box 35946, Houston, Texas 77235 5946. And I want to say, like, it's weird. I was talking to somebody and somebody offered, I don't know, me a little bit of money to do a live stream. And the thing is, I saw it in my little Facebook notifications up in the top, but it wasn't in my Facebook messages. And I'd seen some things before where the same thing would happen where an attractive girl would say something and in the very little notifications it would be up in the far right, but in my messages it wouldn't be there. So my shit is heavily compromised. It always has been. But I know that if you like my PayPal directly, it's https / www.paypal.me/THORnews. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's like a week from rent, but hurricane season is close, and I just remember last year, and so I need to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. You know. So like a giant show of faith, there's some help now, and I'm gonna start getting my shit together. It has been a rough few years, and I just feel like I'm snapping out of it. Anyway, damn, I talked too long. Still not the record though. Anyway, I love you guys, and like I said, if you like me or even middle class, I only have like less than 10 grand in the bank. I'm not looking for you to help me financially. You need it as much as I do, probably. But people that have been doing well, I would like help if you got it. If you don't want to help, that's cool, man. It's partially how you got that much money, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Also, yeah, everybody should work together. Unite as a team. We are a family. Love you guys. And that's another thing. I want to get a kitten. But I'm like, shit, I don't know if I can pay my bills. I'm going to be homeless. It would just seem like a kick in the balls. Like, if I get a cat, and like, love my cat for 2 months, and I'm homeless. Like, damn. So it's like, homeless and a kick in the balls. Yeah. God bless everyone. May the force be with you always. Live long and prosper. See, this is like my Wakanda Spock. Wakanda with the double Spock. They came up with it on the day Stephen Hawking died. Alright. Stay cool. I could use hugs and kisses. Although my standards are way too high. Oh. If you happen to stay this long, and I doubt anybody did, asterisks, in the comments, tell me your favorite song that has come out in the last 3 years. Or list the top 3 millennial comedians. Peace out.